You want to learn how to play my grandma's version of dominoes? This is a lot of fun. It does require some mathematics though, so there we go. All right, for a condensed version, typically you draw 12 dominoes per person and you go to 500, but for the sake of condensing this down, we're gonna draw 6 dominoes per person and we're only gonna go to 100. This will be the score sheet. Me versus you. All right, so I'm gonna give you, let's see, where can you see them? All right, your 6 dominoes are right here, and then I'll take my 6 dominoes, 3, 6. We move all the rest, we call those the bone pile. So if you need to draw a domino, you draw from the bone pile. All right, so the way that you start this game is that whoever has the biggest double goes first. So let's see. Oops, I got 7 dominoes. I'll put one back. And then let's see your dominoes. 1, 4, 12, 5, 10, 4, 4, 6, 5, 3, 5, 11. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. I have a double. I have the double 5, so I'm gonna get to go first. I'm gonna set this down right here. You can see it. All right, you can see it there. These are your dominoes. These are my dominoes, okay? So that means that I've scored 10 points because the way that you score in this game is anytime there's a difference of 5, you score. So in this case, I'm starting out with 10, so that means I start the game with a score. So I give myself 10 points, 1 line per 5, easy way to score. So now that means that it's your turn. So what you want to do in this case is you want to obviously get something with a 5 because that's the only way you can play. And then hopefully if you have the 5, 10, that would be ideal. The 5, 0 would also be ideal. That would let you score. You don't. You have a 5, 3, and you have a 5, 12. Now my philosophy in this game is that if you can't score, try to bump up whatever's on the board. So in this case, we're going to use the 5, 12. Now what happens here, you set this on the end like this. So the 5 needs to touch the double 5. And then what you do is you add up 5, 10 plus 12. So this is going to be a total of 22 points to you. Now that doesn't mean anything because you don't get points based on anything but a difference of 5. Okay, so right now there's 22 points on the board. That means it goes to me. Now I can only play a 5 or a 12. So I have a 5 here. So if I play this 5 as an example, so this 5 I would have to play on this other side, and that would totally knock out the value of this domino. So what we have going on now is we would have 12 plus 2, so that's 14. Not really a score, not really super helpful. Let me see if I've got anything else that'll work. I do have this 12, so this is a 12, 8, right? 3, 6, 7, 8. So let's see, I could play that on this side of the 12. And what that'll do then is that'll basically knock out this whole domino, and then this would be the new score. So 10 plus 8 is going to be 18. So not the best, but I'll take it. So now it's 18, all right? We discard this one so that it doesn't get too long. Throw that in the box, and now it's your turn. So there's 18 on the board. You can play an 8 and you can play a 5. So let's see. You do have this 5, 3. That's all you've got. That's all you can play. So at this point then, we're gonna put it on this other side of the double 5. So now what we have looks like this. And the only things that count now are the absolute outside. So this double 5 no longer counts. So now we've got 8 plus 3 is 11. Not a score, it's all you could do. So 11 points, now it's back to me. I can play a 3 or an 8 or a 5. So you can play on these parts once they're closed off. Let's see what I've got. So 3, 8, or 5. This is the only thing I can play, which is this 5, 2. So check what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it on the edge here. And now it adds, so it's gonna add a 2 to what's on here right now, which is 11, so it's 13. Not a score. We're not doing super great. Your turn. All right, what you can do, you can play a 3, you can play a 2, you can play an 8, or you can play a 5. Let's see what you've got. You've got a 5, so this is a 5, 11. So there's 13 on the board right now, so this would add 11 to what's on there, which would be 24. Not a score. Can we do better? 2, 3, or 8? We cannot. This is the only thing you've got to play. So we're gonna put this 5 here on the other side with the 11 pointing out. So now again, to count it, you just count everything on the outside, and all of these are now in play. So 3 plus 2 is 5, plus 8 is 13, plus 11 is 24. Not a score, but we're bumping it up, as you can see. Okay, so now I can play a 3, a 2, an 8, or an 11 if I have them. So I do have a 2, I have a 2, 9. That's all I can play. So that makes it kind of easy when you only have one thing you can play. So we put it here on the 2. And now what that's going to do is that's going to add 7 points to what's on here. So right now there's 24 on the board. I know that the difference of 9 and 2 is 7. And since it's the bigger end that's going on the outside, that means that we're adding 7 to it. So let's add 7 to 24, 31, not a score. Okay, so 31 to you. You now have the option to play 3, 9, 8, or 11. You've got a 4, 10, a 1, 4, a 4, 6. So there's nothing you can play based on the dominoes that you've got, so gotta go to the bone pile. What did you get? An 8, 7. Okay, this is actually good. This is actually great. So what this does now is we're gonna play this on this 8, and when we do that, it's going to subtract, because this number is smaller than this one, it's going to subtract 1, which is going to give you 30 points. How cool is that? 10, 15, 20, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay, so I have 10 points, you have 30 points. Nice job. Okay, now it's my turn. Now I can play a 3, a 9, a 7, or an 11 if I have them. Ooh, I do have a 7, so I have a 7, 4, or I have a 7, 0. So this means that I can take 7 off of it, which is off of 30, 23, not a score. This means that I would be taking off 3. Neither one of these is a score, but this leaves me with a bigger score, so I'm going to put that. So now what we have is 27 points to you. Okay, so you've got some options here. So there's 27 on the board. You've got a 4, 10. The difference of this is 6. So 27 minus 6, not a score. You also have this 4, 1. So this would be a difference of 3, 27. Unfortunately, we're subtracting 3 because we don't have a 1 on the board, so this also isn't super helpful. Lastly, you've got a 4, 6. So this would add 2 points, which again is not much of anything. It won't be an actual scoring score, but it will elevate the total score. So we're going to use that one. We're going to add 2, oops, so making it 29. Okay, this is my last domino, and I can't play it because there's no 0 and there's no 7. So let me go to the bone pile. All right, so I've got an 11, 2. Now there is an 11 on the board, so I can play that. That's going to take 9 off of this. Ooh, lucky me, that's a score. So that's 20 points to me. And there's 20 on the board. So now it's your turn. You've got a 3, a 9, a 6, or a 2. Now, unfortunately, you don't have anything to play that. So we got to go back to the bone pile for you. All right, so you got a 9, 3 on this. Now there is both a 3 and a 9 on this board. There's 20 points on this. Now the difference between 3 and 9 is 6. So this isn't going to get you a score on a board that already has a score. So what we're going to do instead, we're going to bump it up. So we're going to add 6. So now it's 26 on the board. So there's 26 to you. All right, so you've got a 9, a 9, a 6, and a 2. You're gonna have to go back to the, now I'm all, yeah, you're gonna have to go back to the bone pile. 10, 1. You can pick 2 from the bone pile, and unfortunately neither one of them is gonna do anything for you. So now it's back to me. So I've got a 7, 0, which again, nothing is on the board, so I have to go to the bone pile. Also, I got a double 4. There's no 4s on there, so Back to the bone pile for me. 11-3. I can't do it. All right, I can't play, so that means it goes back to you. Now, typically when you have more people playing, this happens a lot less. Also, you typically draw 12 dominoes, so you have more to draw from. Let's see, do you have anything that could play? I don't think you do. You don't. Bone pile. All right, you got a 6-5. Hey, yo, there is a 6 on here, so you're able to play this. Okay, so that's gonna subtract 1 from, that's gonna subtract 1 from 26. That means you got 25. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Great job. You're really picking this up fast. That's awesome. Okay, 25 points to you. I don't know why I'm sweating. I don't know why my house is so hot in October in Florida. It just is. Fan break. Okay, it's my turn. Let's see if I can play. So on the board, there's a 9, a 9, a 5, and a 2. And I don't have any of those. So to the bone pile for me. That's a 12 or an 11-0. Useless. All right, so I'm gonna pick from the bone pile again because I still can't play. So what did I get here? A 10-3. I'm fucked. There's still nothing. All right, it's your turn. You have these dominoes, and you can't play any of them, unfortunately. Back to the bone pile. All right, that's a 10-0. There's no zeros and there's no 10 on here, so bone pile it is. Double 6, and there's no 6s, so back to me. And again, because it hasn't changed, I still can't play, so this is an 8-4. This happens sometimes, and a 6-10. Can't play. All right, your turn again. Back to the bone pile, 11-4. Where are all the dominoes that will play? 12, a double 12. There's no 12s on here, so back to me. All right, that's an 11-12. There's no 11s and there's no 12s on the board, so double 2. Hey-oh, I can finally play. Okay, so the double 2, or the double, works a little bit differently. You're gonna put it sideways on whatever number it's doubling up on. So you're gonna add it, so like this, you put it like that. So what that does is it adds 2 to whatever was already on here. So it's 25 on here, so now it's 27, okay? So 27 on the board to you. You can't play. So let's see, the double 11. Oh my God, what is up with these huge numbers? And the 5-1, oh, you do have, okay. So what did I say, it was 27? All right, so the 27, so we can play this. Now the difference of this, because the little number is going to be on the outside, is going to subtract 4 from 27, so it's going to be 23. So 23 to me, let's see if I can do anything with that 1. I can't. So a 3-4, nothing, and a 7-6, nothing. Your turn again. Okay, so there's 23 on the board. Let's see if you can actually do something. So you do have a 1 and, oh, you have a couple 1s. So there's 23 on the board. Let's see what the math is. Okay, so you know that it's gonna play this way. So the bigger number is gonna be on the bottom. So that means that you're adding 9 points if you play this one, and you're adding 3 points if you play this one. Now, unfortunately, with the score being 23 right now, adding 3 doesn't do much, and adding 9 also doesn't do much. But we're gonna go ahead and add 9. Always increase it if you can. So 23 plus 9 is 32. God, my pen sucks. 32. Okay, and I just write this down so that I can keep track, because otherwise you have to keep adding up what's on the outside here. And trust me, that gets really old really fast. All right, so 32 to me. Now there's a 10 on here and a 2, and I can do something with a 10. So it's 32. So if I played this on the 10, obviously the 3 would be down. So it would be subtracting 7. So 32 -7 is a score, so I'll take it. So that's 25. Okay, so I'll take my 5, 10, 15, 20. Okay, so 25 points to me, and now it's your turn. Let's see, what can you do? There's a 3, there's a 2, 3, and a 9 on the board, and you have a 3. So this is the only thing you can play, and what you're going to be doing is, again, because you're attaching to the 3 and the number on this other side is bigger, you're going to be adding. So this is actually going to add 8 points to 25. Okay, so we'll do that. So what's 25 plus 8 is 33. 33. Let's see. Oh, now that's a 12. The only 12 I have is the 12, 11, which means it's going to subtract 1 point from this. So it's going to make it 32. As you can see, it's a lot of math. All right, 32 to you. Now you do have, there's the 11 on here. So you have the double 11. So this would add 11 to 32, which would make it 43. Can we do better? No. Okay. So there we go. And again, because it's a double, it goes on sideways, right? So then you can see what the doubles are. Okay, so now it's 43. 43 to me. Let's see what we can do with this. Now I do have 2 11s, so I could do something with that. Okay, now the way that it works when it's a double like this is if you close off this double, you're subtracting 22 points. You're subtracting whatever the total of this double is, and then you're adding whatever the difference. So in this case, I would only be subtracting 22 points because there's nothing on this side. With this one, I would be subtracting 22 and then adding 3. So actually I'm adding 19. Is that right? So, no, I'm subtracting 19. Jesus, it can get a little confusing. Okay, so since that actually is a bigger score, let's do that. Now, if the math gets a little too tough because of these big numbers like 22, taking off 22, adding 3, whatever, you can always count just the outside. So 9 plus 9 equals 18, plus 4 equals 22, plus 3 equals, oh shit, 25. Sometimes you stumble into a score without even realizing. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Okay, 25 to you. Let's see what we can do with that. This is actually, not what I was thinking. 25. You don't have any 3s. Oh, you have 1 11. That's all you can play. So if you can play, you have to play. So in this case, unfortunately, it's not going to score you anything, but you have to play it. So what you do here is you put it on the one side of the 11, and then what that does is it just adds to the score without taking any off. So you're adding 4 to 25, which makes it 29. Not a score, but that's okay. Okay, so 29. Now, I can add 11 to this. No, JK. No, I can't, because it would only be 29, because if it goes on this side, which is the way it would have to be, it doesn't add anything, so my bad. Can I do anything? It's 29, so this will actually score me 1 point, which will make it 30, so I'll put this on here, and as you can see, you know, you added 1 point, so now I get 30 points. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay, now it's your turn. There's 30 on the board. My pen is starting to really suck, so I'm doing my best. All right, so 30 points on the board. Let's see if you can do anything with that. No, unfortunately you can't. So the most you can do would be adding 6. So we'll put this on the end here. Pull out the middle one, that doesn't count anymore, and it just makes it super big. So we added 6 to 30, so 36. 36 to me. Let's see if I can do anything with that. So 36. Now I have the double 4 as well, and this will add 4 to 36, which makes it 40. You got it. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. And as you can see here, that's 25, 50, 75, 100. I win.